96.7 KCAL rocks. Time for us to do some sports. I love it when Thursday rolls around because we're getting ready for the weekend. Let's talk to our guy, Pep. What's going on, Pep?
Hey, good morning, guys. Good morning to everybody out there. What a time to be alive if you're a Dodger fan, man. You're waking up on a Thursday morning and your Los Angeles Dodgers are back in first place. And, guys, they have not been in first place since April 25th. Those Giants, the San Francisco Giants, have been in first place for a majority of the season in the National League West, but the tide has turned, and the Dodgers with a big win last night against the Braves, 4-3, and the Giants lost last night combined. Now the Dodgers are in first place this morning. The Dodgers are back, guys.
And it looks like it's good timing once again. This is what kind of those good teams do. When you have 162 games, you're bound to go through a period where you don't play very well. The Dodgers have managed to get that championship formula where you kind of go through your slump in the middle of the season. And now, of course, they're starting to fire and getting everybody back from injury. And it looks like they're going to start peaking in the playoffs again, which is what you want.
Yeah, they're getting healthy, right? They're getting healthy. Mookie Betts is hitting home runs. You know what I mean? Like they're looking like what we thought the Dodgers would look like. And think about this. Think of their pitching rotation. Max Scherzer, Walker Buehler, Clayton Kershaw, and oh, by the way, Julio Urias was the first pitcher to get 15 wins on the season. Man, if this pitching staff, they're going to be dominant in the playoffs. If they can just push across some runs, and it looks like they're starting to heat up at the plate, this Dodger team looks like they could go back-to-back.
This is a serious back-to-back threat.
Nice.
So last night in that win, a couple local shout-outs. We had Austin Barnes, the pride of Riverside Poly, had a home run for the Dodgers. And then our guy Joe Kelly, pitcher out of Corona High School and UC Riverside, he pitched the ninth inning, got the save. So our local guys contributing for the Dodgers in this one.
Let's go Inland Empire.
Yeah, it's looking good.
And guys, hey, big weekend series too, because it's going to be the Dodgers going head-to-head with the Giants. 3-game series beginning Friday. That will be massive in terms of, again, trying to stay on top of the National League West.
Yeah, they beat the Giants. That's going to be even better.
Dodger fans, behave.
Behave.
Well, funny you bring that up because maybe Dodger fans do not behave that well because I'm sure you guys saw this. It was running amok on social media that they took data, the information from social media, specifically from Twitter, to find out which teams were the most hated across Major League Baseball. And everyone, I think we would say the Astros were probably the most hated, or maybe the Yankees or Red Sox. No, it was the Dodgers.
Wow.
Because it's the new evil empire. It's kind of like the Yankees were hated in the 90s because you just buy all these players, and that's what the Dodgers have done.
I mean, I can see that. I mean, I've notoriously been a Laker hater for a long time until LeBron came over, but I can see how LA fans can be insufferable.
And when you have a bot team like that, they're going to catch more heat. Even Houston, who has been accused of cheating, that's all farm system. They developed all those players.
Right.
Yeah, there are, to the Dodgers' defense, there are some local guys who came up like through the Quakes and whatnot. But yeah, they go out and they get Max Scherzer, and they go out and get Trey Turner and Mookie Betts and some of these like superstar players to put them over the top to win that World Series. So yeah, based on this, the analytics, the data that they got from Twitter, yeah, the Dodgers are the most hated team in baseball. But here, at least in the state of California, it's the Houston Astros. We hate the Astros more than any other team.
Well, of course.
As far as the Dodgers go, hey, they hate us because they ain't us, right?
Yeah. That's exactly right. Guys, real quick to the Angels. It looks like Mike Trout might be shut down for the rest of the season. He's been out since the middle of May with the calf injury. With the Angels, a very, very, very long shot to make the playoffs. It's like, why bring him back at this point? But it looks like Mike Trout, who was off to such a great start to the season, it looks like they're going to shut him down. He'll be done for the year.
Another sad season.
I mean, at least we've got Ohtani.
Yeah.
Yeah, and if you're the Angels, that's a reason to watch, right? You know what I mean? If they're not going to make the playoffs, if Mike Trout's not out there, Shohei Ohtani's a reason to watch the Angels and follow them to the very finish. Go down with the ship.
Is he still pretty much looking like the league MVP?
Oh, yeah. Dude, he is stealing home plate. He's hitting more home runs. He's still nasty on the mound. So yes, yes, yes.
Yes.
Guys, to NFL, and this is kind of a serious note, man. Hurricane Ida just, blowing through the state of Louisiana, making its way up the East Coast, wreaking havoc with rainfall. The city of New Orleans is without power, and it looks like they might be without power for a long, long time, maybe several weeks. And the Saints, they're supposed to kick off their season against the Packers at home next week. Well, the Saints have picked up and moved to Dallas for practices and just all those team operations. And they might even play some games out there because they really don't know when they're going to be able to get back home.
They say game one is going to be in Jacksonville. They are practicing in Dallas, but their first game against the Packers will be held in Jacksonville because Jacksonville's on the road that week. And then from there, I think, they're talking about maybe Dallas, Houston. They might just have to be like splitting time and be a nomad team.
It's too bad that hurricane did some serious damage, man. So here we go again.
Yeah, exactly. Here we go again, man. Just like Hurricane Katrina, and we have all those awful memories from that incident, and here we are. Of course, first and foremost, we're thinking about the people that actually live there. But we know football and the Saints, bring so much joy to people, and they still want to watch them play and follow them. And the Saints are trying to follow through, trying to get this thing done. Like, how do we get ready for our first game? How do we actually play that first game? And 40, yeah, I didn't know. They're going to Jacksonville. That's awesome. At least they have a site they can go to and play that first game against the Packers.
Yeah, I think they said that yesterday that at least for week one, the Saints will go to Jacksonville. So it's about an 8-hour drive for their fans if they can make it. I think the tickets that they had for the one will go for the other. My question is, though, how do you get the upgrade to the pool?
Yes.
Yeah, right. Yeah. So, and if you look up and down the East Coast, listen, I know we don't have any NFL games, this week. And again, we've got like a free weekend before the regular season starts next week. But man, it is raining and flooding everywhere up and down the East Coast. I'm sure this is going to affect some Major League Baseball games, but there is no NFL games this week that should be affected by the aftermath, I guess you could say, of Hurricane Ida, which is now, I don't know if they call it tropical storm or depression or whatever they call it at this point, as it makes its way up the eastern seaboard.
Now, no NFL games going on this weekend, but college is starting back up, right? Do you think the college is going to be affected by this?
We could, man. We could have some wet, muddy games. You know what I mean? Like if this kind of lingers into the weekend, because we do have a full slate of college football. Last weekend, we had a handful of games. We had UCLA in action against Hawaii. But now this weekend, especially those teams on the East Coast, everybody's getting involved. We got some big ones. Alabama taking on Miami. Of course, for our local teams, we talked about UCLA hosting LSU, which is probably a blessing in disguise that LSU was coming out this way, right? To the West Coast, to the Rose Bowl in Southern California. So, yeah, we're going to see a whole bunch of college football games this weekend. And
Clemson, Georgia.
That's another big one. You're exactly right, 40.
Yeah.
So we'll see. It could be a wild, wacky weekend, depending how long the lingering effects of this storm, stay on that East Coast.
And then, Pep, is USC and San Jose State going at it?
Yes, we talked a little bit about this on Monday that, USC, I know in most polls, the AP, the coaches, they're about number 14, number 15 in the nation, right? Pretty highly ranked for USC. A lot of talent on paper. But can they put it together? That's always kind of been the question with USC the last several years. And again, San Jose State, they are the defending Mountain West Conference champions. So this is not an easy game for USC by any means. So in terms of what are we going to find out about USC? We're going to find out really early what this USC team is all about. Because if they blow out San Jose State, like they probably should, this USC team is on the right path. But if they lose or it's a close game, credit to San Jose State because, again, they are a good team. But people are going to start thinking, okay, USC, have they really turned that corner? Are they going to be in another dominant program, or are they going to be looking up at Oregon and Washington and some of these other programs in the Pac-12 once again? They might be.
All right, NFL fans, you just got to get through this week. Maybe check out college football, and then the season will start. Pep, tell them how to get your stuff.
Oh, all kinds of college football. You can check it out and check us out on Inland Sports, all over social media, the Inland Sports YouTube channel. We've got local college football, University of Redlands, San Bernardino Valley College, RCC, all kinds of local stuff going on.
Thanks,
Also,
Pep.
if Bishop Sycamore needs a defensive tackle, I'm available.